Good evening, everyone, or afternoon, depending upon where you are. I'm Gene, and welcome to the Monday edition this February 12th of Hanging with Uncle. Just a couple of things today. Well, I'm going to keep it short. First, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And also hit that like button. It helps promote the show and lets the universe know that we exist out there. And also hit that notification bell on the right side so you can be aware of when we put new content out and go live. So having said that, let's get into it. What's on my mind today is the special election in New York's 3rd Congressional District tomorrow. It's the special election to fill defendant George Soros' seat after he was voted out of Congress. Okay, he was expelled by bipartisan members of the House of Representatives because of his alleged criminal activity, and we already know he has 23, 24 federal indictments going against him for various fraud and other issues. So I'm curious to see that. And the candidates are on the right, a MAGA Republican, Mikas, I think that's her name. And I've listened to what she's had to say, and I'm still waiting to see where she stands on an issue. She says she's pro-choice. She wants, supports a woman's right to choose, but she's pro-life. So, how would she vote? She would not answer those questions when posed to her during the debate on how she would actually vote. Because, again, you can say how you feel on one thing, but what you do is the important thing, and that's what I pay attention to. So, if I was a voter in New York's 3rd District, because she refuses to say how she would vote on sensible gun reform legislation, on how she would vote on a woman's right to choose to codify Roe as the law of the land in the United States. She's refused to basically take a position on anything. It's like trying to nail jello to a tree. And her opponent on the left, Tom Suozzi, occupied that seat before the redistricting of the census in 2020 to run for governor of New York, and did not win. Kathy Hochul won that race. So now he's running to regain his seat, and he's very clear on where he stands. So again, I would rather support someone that stands for something than refuses to take a position on anything. And at least, the man has conviction on where he stands and he's putting it out there. So for example, he votes to continue supporting the CHIPS Act so we can keep kids out of child poverty and make sure they don't starve and have a roof over their heads. That's how we take care of life. Or pro-life, take care of the living. Those are the people that you go there to represent. Don't tell me you're pro-life, but support taking money out of the mouth of kids and banning books and doing nothing on gun reform to keep our kids safe while they're in school. Those things are important to me, and that's what I look at. And I believe that the voters of New York's 3rd, it might be a close race, who knows, but I believe the voters in New York's 3rd are tired of the fraud that was George Santos. They do not want another MAGA extremist, an election denier who supports putting the Tangerine Terror back in office, someone who wants to dismantle NATO, make Vladimir Putin strong because he's a pro-communist supporter. That's why he's ordered his minions in Congress not to vote for aid for Ukraine or Taiwan so that communist China and communist Russia can just walk right into Ukraine and Taiwan. So that's why I call the Republican Party a pro-communist party, because that's what they do. Those are their actions. So that's what I want to see. Um, all this, well, anything that happens in the Supreme Court with Colorado, or the question of presidential immunity, I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I have my opinions. I've shared them before, and I just I think Thomas Roberts has no moral compass, and he needs to leave the Supreme Court along with um, wealth grifting Sam Alito and Clarence Thomas. So, that's my opinion on the Supreme Court. Anyway, I said I'd keep it short today, and that's it. Oh, and congratulations, Kansas City, on winning the Super Bowl yesterday. Here we go again. Now baseball starts. So I believe this week, next week, pitchers and catchers report to spring training. So here we go. Anyway, you guys be safe, be kind, treat each other the way you want to be treated. I'm Gene, and I will see you on Wednesday.